Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal
has anchored itself as an integral part of the Eunice community and takes school safety very seriously. Eunice schools have continually provided a quality education for the students of Eunice through good times and bad. The Eunice School District appreciates the Eunice community, and they're proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Eunice is on the move. Are you ready?
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics. Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Are you looking for a reliable and trustworthy auto shop? Check out Zia Auto Shop in Eunice. Zia Auto Shop specializes in lube and tires and accessories. They accept fleet company maintenance cards and do washing and detailing. Next time you need a dependable tire lube service for your vehicle, Zia Auto Shop has you covered. All the services you need, call 394-0298 for all your lube, tire, and accessories. That's 394-0298. Zia Auto Shop, 1800 Main Street in Eunice, proud supporters of the Eunice Cardinals and Lady Cardinals.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eunice Arena here as the Cardinals are getting ready to take on the, the Coyotes of Tatum tonight. And it should be a heck of a game as Tatum is undefeated. And the last time we played them up there, it didn't have the greatest outcome.
Yeah, this Tatum basketball team has really transformed again. You know, this coach, Coach Slover, that's over there, he had really put a basketball program. Tatum had long had a volleyball program and a girls athletic program just in general, but Slover transformed their girls basketball program a few years ago. He implemented a man-to-man defense. They do a lot of really interesting things out of man-to-man defense that a lot of people don't understand, you know, the way they do it. It's a lot of scheming, a lot of planning, a lot of practicing. They can jump off of folks and double team people and trap people in different settings. They figure out who it is that they want to keep the ball out of their hands. They deny that person. He puts together a man-to-man defense scheme better than any small-town basketball girls coach, for sure, that I ever had to coach against. It was always tough. You knew you had your hands full when you came to play him, and you knew that he was going to throw something at you that was going to confuse your whole basketball team, and you better be ready to adjust. And so he's back. You know, he retired. He won a couple state championships, left. He retired. Now he's back. And what we watched the other day in Tatum was the building of that same principles and fundamentals that he's always been known for, man-to-man defense. He mixes it up. He may run a real soft man, just a help man type thing, almost like a matchup zone, and then the next time down the floor, he's full court in your shorts, trapping the heck out of you. And so you start running your press breaker and trying to adjust to that, and then he's setting back in the half-court defense till you go to sleep, and then bam, he's right back on you. And so that's what they did to us last time, for sure.
Yep. Well, they're 5-0 in overall and 4-0 in league. I mean, so far the only close game they've had was Texaco 33-26, and I believe you said at the time they beat Texaco that Texaco was was a number 3 team?
Yeah, at the time they beat Texaco was setting number 3, and they had some number 1 votes at that time. Now, Texaco has been on a downturn the last couple of weeks and has struggled with multiple losses to Pecos, which I believe Pecos is number 1 in girls basketball right now. But anyway, Texaco is always a salty girls basketball program. They play a lot of bigger schools, and they're always tough to deal with. Coach Luscombe, who's up there, has won numerous state championships. I think at this point he's won like 9 between a year or two with the boys and then the programs that he's had there at the girls. They were our thorn in our side right here when I was coaching in Eunice for years. We would go back and forth during the regular season, and it seemed like Luscombe could always put a game plan together that would beat us up there in the Final Four, and then he would go on to win the state championship. And so every year it was like us and them, 1-2, that 1-2-3 spot. Sometimes another team would jump in there, but, he always had a good program. And so for this Tatum team to go beat Texaco tells me that they're a little better than some people expected them to be this year.
Well, yeah, we were really thinking when we went up there that it was going to kind of be a three-way contest with us and Hagerman and Tatum. But, Tatum took apart Hagerman 64-16. Unfortunately, they beat us 52-19. They beat Jow 47-9 and Loving 61-23. So, this team is well positioned to go far if there is a state championship.
Absolutely. And the Lady Cardinals are perfectly capable athletically of competing with this team. We've got some great athletes. We beat this exact same set of girls in the sport of volleyball. And, that is one thing that through the years that I have been an outspoken critic on about Eunice sports is every year we see things like this where we have a group of kids right here, which is almost the exact same kids that we had in volleyball, with the exception of about 2, and those are good ones, but 2 that are out here playing almost the exact same kids that they beat in volleyball. And in basketball, we get beat by 30 or 40 points by the exact same athletes. And it has been one of those things that I have questioned here in Eunice for years. It's one of those things that always has me scratching my head. But this group of athletes that we've got down here on the floor is capable of competing. But in order to compete today, they are going to have to take care of the basketball. If we start turning the ball over, which leads to fast break layups for Tatum, it could be a long night for us. At the same time, we are capable. We've got folks out there on the court today like Kinder Caballero and, numerous others, but I think of her because she's that point guard and that stability for the team. And we've got folks like her that are very capable of getting out there and taking care of the ball. If that happens and we're able to take care of the basketball, I really believe that we could be in this ball game.
Well, we've seen them put some good scores up in that. We know the one thing, we're at a situation where we're at a height and size disadvantage, so we're not going to get a lot of second shots.
Yeah.
And, so anything inside trying to drive the lane, Eunice loves that baseline runner, but boy, when we run up at teams at this size, what they've got to do is not be so committed to it, and when they collapse on them is to kick the ball out to somebody that's open and get that shot instead of trying to force that baseline shot.
Yeah, and one other elephant in the room today that seems to be an interesting topic of conversation here at the games today is we've got a couple of kids who really of no fault of their own, but just due to the new rules and the PED's rules and the COVID-related rules, due to an exposure to another student, are not allowed to play today. And so we are going to be missing a couple of our primary kids, and I don't always feel comfortable mentioning stuff like that with other folks' kids, but with my own kid, I can say that. Chloe will not be here today, and she will not get to play because of a exposure situation, so she will be out. And, Coach Gaetan and I sent him all the stats over this past week. I spent some time going through, watching all the games, breaking down all the stats and getting them to him. And, right now, Chloe's leading the team in scoring. She's leading the team in assists. She's leading the team in steals. And of the top 7 minutes kids on the team, she's got the fewest turnovers. So she will be out today, one of our better ball handlers, and that will definitely hurt us. It will impact us for sure here today. And we've got another young lady that typically plays big minutes that's out as well. And so, it's a rough deal. We're all dealing with this COVID thing and the rules, we have to deal with those regularly. I know for me personally at work, the judiciary says that they believe our rules should be more strict than the governor's rules on everyone else, and where everybody else is out now that they've opened things up, running around, going to Texas, going and doing whatever, my rules for my work still don't allow me to do that. So sometimes the rules don't seem fair, especially right now with everything that's going on. At the same time, the ultimate thing when we look at the big picture, and you have to check me on this one every now and then and put me back in line, is the kids are healthy. And so the boys, Ovi's one of the ones that got quarantined as well. Not because he has tested positive. I've heard that rumor out there, but my kids have tested negative. Because they were exposed, they are quarantined, which is why we're not having boys' games here tonight as well. So an interesting situation. This Eunice Tatum game should be a good one. It's got everything that you would think that would need to be in place to be a competitive ball game. We'll just see if it is here in a few minutes.
Well, we're going to have to see some people that didn't, because Chloe and another player are not going to be tonight. We're going to need to see a couple of those other players that don't get as many minutes stepping up. And, one of those is, Kiki, because, she was, unbelievable in volleyball. Yeah. But she really hasn't asserted herself on the basketball court yet. So we're going to need her to, get out there. She's got some height because she's going to spend a lot of minutes out there, spelling Isabel Garrett. Yeah. And so we're going to need her to be a little bit more aggressive out there, especially getting on the boards. And one of the other things we got to be careful of tonight is fouls. Faith can't, Hobbs cannot be giving up those silly fouls. And if she gets fouls out of this game again, that's going to have, it's going to be more important tonight than it normally is. Yeah, with Kiki, she's a young lady that I've mentioned this before, but she's a young lady that's been around the basketball court for a long time. When I was coaching, she was always one of our little mascots that came and ran out and practiced and warmed up and did different things with us. However, as I've mentioned all throughout volleyball, I believe she's grown close to a foot in the last year. And when I say that, I'm not exaggerating. She's grown close to a foot. She used to be Chloe's size. I've got pictures of her and Chloe just a couple of years ago where they look like twins with the exception of the blonde hair and the brown hair. They were about the same size. So Kiki always practiced as a guard. Yep. And now here she is in high school, and suddenly you're a post, and she's kind of in that stage right now, not to bash her at all, but she's just kind of in that stage right now where she's grown a foot. Yep. Her feet and her legs kind of get in the way of what her body and her head wants to do. And so I think within the next year or two, you could probably see some real good things from her. And, and she had a great JV game a while ago in the quarter or so that she got to play in that JV game. Well, we've seen her a lot on the volleyball court where she's being dominated. She's up the net. She doesn't care who's the other side of the net against her, and just much more assertive. So it's probably that as her comfort level advances in that here, she's going to bring us some size and some skill inside for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, and then when you start looking down the roster there, of course you got Kendra Caballero, and to me she's going to be instrumental today because she won't have Chloe out there to help her. She's going to have to control the game, and in order to do that, she's going to have to stay out of foul trouble and stay on the floor. We're going to have her in order to be successful today. Beside her, you've got Hobbs, and Hobbs is Faith Hobbs, and I mean she's a hustler, she's a player, she's a diver, she's a clawer, she's a scratcher, and she's pretty much turned into a pretty good little basketball player this year.
You see her underneath the hoops just battling it out against these girls that are 6 inches, 7 inches taller and probably weigh significantly more than her. Yeah. But she's in there getting those rebounds, and she doesn't back down from anybody. I love her spirit of play. Yeah. She just can't give those stupid fouls up today. Well, we've seen her where she's from behind swatting at the ball.
Yes. Or on a run out where everybody's going by and she could just go down and play defense, smack somebody and pick up a one where you're like, what'd you do that for? Yep. But then you've got Isabella Garrett. I mean, Isabella Garrett at the beginning of the season didn't do a whole lot the first couple of games, but the last couple of games she's been grabbing 8-10 rebounds a game, getting some blocks. She's leading the team right now in blocks, And I think overall rebounds, although it's close, and the interesting part about rebounds is it was close between her and Caballero for the top rebounder so far this year.
The shortest player on the team and the tallest player
She's
on the
a hustler, and I didn't realize how many rebounds she got until I started going back and watching video trying to count them. And then you throw in Arissa Frazier. Frazier's I think she's been on a varsity basketball team since she was a freshman. So she's a player as well. And then it's going to be interesting to see who else they throw in the mix tonight besides Denise Rangel.
Well, Denise needs a good game tonight.
Yes.
I mean,
and then, of course, you've got Jasmine
gone,
Martinez.
the other two players gone. We're about to start the national anthem here.
Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right.
But yeah, so we need Denise has got to step up tonight too. So we need some quality minutes out of Denise tonight, because with the other two players gone, she's probably going to see a lot more time with the ball.
Yeah. And then Jasmine Martinez. Jasmine Martinez is a young lady that I've been impressed with since last year. Watching those videos and going back through and doing stats, I didn't realize quite how much I talk about her, but she's just a spark to me. She does a lot of good things out there that are really beneficial for the Eunice Cardinals.
The last game, she probably had the best game of anybody out there.
Yeah.
She had, and you mentioned her a lot because she deserved to be mentioned.
Yes. Yeah, she does a lot of good things. I would not be surprised if you see Maribel Lopez play more minutes tonight than what you're used to seeing, because now although she played a lot of minutes in that JV game, but she's a young lady that is capable of getting out there and putting some minutes up and helping the team for sure.
So Rangel is going to be starting tonight. We're going to have Hobbs, Frazier, Caballero, and Garrett as the starting five for the Cardinals tonight.
Yeah, so it should be an exciting game. Once again, Tatum's got the Slover young lady, and they've got a couple other young ladies that can just flat out play. So they're throwing the ball across to this side of the court. Both sides are giving their final little prep speeches over there, their pep talks, and it looks like we're getting ready to get started.
Well, definitely the Slovers can make a difference. With Ashlyn Slover, she really came to play. The other one that was Veronica Sanchez really had a great game against us last time, the number 2.
Right.
All right, we're ready to get underway here. These girls wearing their shorts like they got diapers on it. I think that's kind of a strange look, but
it's that new thing.
Yep. All right, here ball's out to brings it into and they get a steal, and there comes Hobbs down the court. She comes over to Caballero. Caballero over to Hobbs, or to Frazier. Frazier's up, and her shot is no good. And like I said, Hobbs is right down underneath there for the rebound. She doesn't get it, but she's there. The ball back down court, come across to, that was number 14, West, and she puts it in, and I've got the first points of the game for Tatum. So Caballero crosses the game. She's looking to drive the baseline. She comes out to Hobbs. Hobbs to Frazier. Frazier looks to drive in, and she is stuffed, but the rebound comes off to Hobbs, and there we get 2 points from Hobbs. And we talk about her being tough and in there.
Hobbs with a nice rebound and putback right there.
So this is Mescal is back over to West. She brings it inside to Sanchez. Sanchez's shot is up and no good. And Combs, and we got a jump ball here. So that should be white ball. Yep.
And they're running a little revolving like wheel offense, and so what they do is as that ball goes away, everybody's just wheeling through the middle, and we're going to have to cover up that middle. They'll shoot layups on us.
Yeah, we've had a problem with those in the past, so we'll have to hopefully put a stop to that. So Rangel over on the right-hand side, she's looking to get across inside to Garrett. There she comes into Frazier, but the ball is knocked out of bounds, and we're waiting to see whether it's going to be Eunice ball. And it does, because Hobbs is going over the sideline, so that ball is going to stay with the Cardinals. 2-all, minute and a half left, or gone in the game here. Ball's into Rangel. She's driving along the right side there. She loses the ball a little bit, but Frazier picks it back up. And so the ball stays with the Cardinals. Frazier at the top of the key is kind of an unusual place to see her out with the ball, and that's probably because of the changes not having the other two ladies here tonight. So Garrett's way out there, which is not where you normally see her either, so back out to Caballero. To Rangel. Well, they're not. Rangel kind of gets stopped, but she goes over to Hobbs, and Hobbs is, I think that was intended for Garrett, but it gets loses that out of bounds, and so we got a turnover on the Cardinals.
Yeah, she basically went up trying to float a pass, almost like the floater shot from the baseline, and I don't think Garrett was ready for it.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looked like she was looking to shoot too, and it didn't. All right, they're driving in there. That's by Slover, Ashlyn Slover, and she drives in, and she's going to pick up a foul there.
I believe that's correct. It's going to be a foul on Tatum there, and so Eunice will get that ball. That's foul on number 14.
West, okay. The ball must have gotten away from Slover there, and West tried to get it back. All right, Caballero bringing the ball across the timeline. Oop. Caballero almost dribbled right out of it, and Frazier goes out of bounds there. I'm not sure about that. I'm sorry, Hobbs, but not sure about that block as she tried to get that pass there that forced her out of bounds, but okay, no call.
Definitely one of those calls that definitely could have went in our favor.
Yep. All right, now driving inside, and that goes to Combs. Combs tries to get in there. It's over to Slover, and it knocked away. So Garrett did a great job there of knocking that ball away from Slover. Combs was another one that had a great game against us, and there you go. They get the thing, and she's going to be fouled as she passes off to Marskell. And she is fouled in the act of shooting. She's going to go to the line. We got 3 minutes gone in the game and a 2-2 score.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real scoring nightmare out there.
Yeah, it's definitely not too many points on the board at this point. Been a few shots up, but she knocks that first free throw down there. Number 10 for Tatum knocks the first free throw down. That foul was on number 00. I believe that's Rangel.
Yes, it was.
Just one foul called on each team at this point. She misses the second one. Rangel comes down with the rebound.
All right, so Cardinals.
Yeah, Tatum transitioned into that full court press right there, right off the missed shot, and we got caught sleeping, and they trapped us over in the corner. Ball goes out of bounds, turned over to Tatum.
Yep. All right. 3-2 score here in the first. And look at the drive thing. The nice thing there with Caballero, she knocks the ball away. They come into Combs. She turns around, and her little jumper is up and in. 5-2 in favor of the Coyotes. And that was one of those plays you were just talking about the last time. All right, Caballero with the ball. She's trying to force that ball inside to Garrett. And there's another one. The ball is, they hustle in there and they drive it down and they don't get it, and the rebound off to Hobbs. And that's going to be
timeout. The Cardinals. And Coach Gaetan wants to talk about it. He's not happy with a couple things he's seeing here, so he's wanting to talk about it. I'm going to see if I can adjust this camera. I apologize to those of you at home. For some reason, it keeps losing focus as I move it back and forth.
Oh, the autofocus. Well, yeah, we don't want anybody getting seasick at home watching the game.
Yeah. I've had 4 or 5 messages of people saying, for some reason, it keeps getting blurry. So try to see if I can tighten it down up here a little bit.
All right. So 3.5 minutes gone in the game, and we have a 5-2 score. So a low-scoring game is a good thing for the Cardinals. Because if it's a running, gunning game, the Cardinals are going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad deal for us at this point. So 2-5 in favor of Tatum. Eunice will throw the ball in at midcourt.
All right, so Hobbs, she goes all the way across to Garrett, but the ball is knocked away by Combs, and that's a turnover on the inbound pass. And I don't have a number 12 on her, so there's a number 12 on the court that I do not have her number. Garrett gets the ball on the rebound, but has it knocked away by Combs. And it's same with whoever number 12 is. I mean, maybe that's Taylor, since I have one person with no number. And so that looks like that is going to be a basket and a free throw here coming up for Slover. That's Ashlyn Slover. She makes her shot and gets fouled.
That makes it 2-7 in favor of Tatum, and they will go to the line here to shoot free throws, or a free throw. That foul was on number 2 for the Cardinals. The first shot is up, and it is good. So she gets a three-point play, and it's now over to Eunice. Rangel will be playing the point guard position and bringing the ball down the floor.
And typically by now we'd see a couple of replacements out there, but everybody's staying in the game for both teams, so they're nothing. Hobbs goes in, she tries to drive, and it's nothing, and the ball, she comes up with air, and ends up being another turnover on the missed shot, as she found nothing but air.
Tatum will bring the ball up now, bringing it up to the timeline.
I'm going to assume that since the only person without the number 12 is Taylor. Are they bringing around there to Marcel? And she comes. Her shot is no good. The rebound to West. Or no, that's not to Combs. That comes back out to Taylor. Taylor goes into Marcel. Back out to Slover. Slover looks drive and does. And okay, well, all right. She misses her shot, and the rebound goes off to Hobbs. Very generous miss there, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. 3 minutes remain here in quarter number 1. Eunice up 8-2.
All right. And Rangel gets tied up in the corner. She gets double teamed by West and Taylor and ends up being a jump ball, and the ball is turned over. And here's one of your favorite players coming to the game now, and she's coming in for Denise Rangel.
Yeah, I like I said, I've talked about her all year. I just think she does some really good things. Jasmine Martinez is a hustler, and I really like watching her play for sure.
And they've got a replacement in there now also for so it's Slover. She goes over to West. West puts up, and that's only a two-pointer, and now it's 10-2 as they've reeled off 8 straight points here against the Cardinals.
And now we've transitioned. We've got Caballero playing the point guard position.
Martinez out to Garrett. Garrett comes all the way out to the top of the key. She's looking to get it off to Frazier, and the ball is knocked away, and it's another turnover on the Cardinals, and Taylor brings the ball down court. She puts up a three-pointer, and it is no good, and the rebound is off to Hobbs. Well, and Hobbs tries to drive, and she's going to be fouled as she is blocked down there in the line. She missed Caballero. Caballero was wide open there and didn't see her.
Yeah, a lot of times in transition like that, you get folks that dribbling, and they're trying to look at the ball to make sure they keep it in control, and that time was one of those situations. But she knocks down that first free throw. That cuts the Tatum lead to 7. It's now 3-10 in favor of the Lady Coyotes, and Faith Hobbs will have one more free throw here, so she's back to the line, the senior.
And she missed the second one, and the rebound is off to Slover. So Coyotes bring the ball back down. She's trying to force it down, and she double dribbles. That's not something you see Slover do very often.
Yeah, that's a turnover on the Lady Cardinals. Ball will go back over to Eunice, and Caballero will be bringing the ball down the floor, headed for the timeline. 1:55 remaining here in quarter number 1.
Okay, so Martinez puts up a three-pointer, and it's going to be nothing but air also, and so that rebound goes off to the Coyotes. Taylor brings the ball down court. She's trying to force that ball inside, and it is stolen by Martinez. So a great defensive play there by Martinez. And Caballero is looking to drive the line and dribbles it off her foot and out of bounds. So another turnover for the Cardinals.
So Rangel comes back in. Martinez goes to the bench. Tatum up 3-10 here late in the first quarter. Tatum's ball. They'll be bringing it toward the timeline.
Well, I'm not sure I understand that substitution after Martinez just made a couple of nice plays. Maybe her three-pointer was so far off. Yeah. All right. It's over to Sanchez. And she goes over to Marcel. Marcel tries to get inside. Nothing there. They go back out to Taylor. Taylor comes up a little runner, and she's going to be fouled.
And it looks like they called that foul on Hobbs. Is that correct? Yeah, and they called that foul on Hobbs. That'll be her first one of the game here. Eunice has got 3 fouls, Tatum with 2, 1:10 remaining in the first quarter. Tatum goes to the line and sinks the first free throw, extending that lead to 11-3. And she'll get one more. That is Jimenez down there shooting that free throw. She missed the second.
All right, the ball's on the ground, and they get the rebound, and it goes back up. And we're waiting to see if the ball's knocked out of bounds. They're going to stay. It's going to stay with the Coyotes. So Coyotes going to get another chance at the ball with it down there.
So 1:01 remaining in the first. 3-11. Tatum in the lead. Tatum's going to make a substitution here. They're going to get number 33 in the game. It'll be their ball on the side at the old 28-foot mark. 1 minute in the first.
All right, Slover's at the top of the key. She goes over to Jimenez, who goes into Sanchez. And they bring that into Slover, and Slover, which something you don't see, that's 2 turnovers on her the last 2 times. She dribbled that one off her foot and out of bounds.
Yeah, they're trying to run that little wheel offense, and they're getting people open as they cut through. They're just not making real good passes to get through there to score.
All right, 11-3, 38 seconds left here in the first quarter. This goes to Frazier outside. She gets inside to Hobbs, and that was number 10. That's going to be Marcel. She goes over the back on Hobbs and fouls Hobbs, but that's just going to be an out of bounds.
That's 3 fouls apiece on the 2 teams now. That's number 10 with her first foul. Eunice will be inbounding the ball on the side.
All right, brings the ball into Garrett, goes back out to Hobbs, who Hobbs comes all the way across to Caballero. Caballero is going to try and drive that baseline, and her shot is no good, and the rebound goes off to, well, it went off to the Coyotes there for a second, and Caballero steals it back, and then the Coyotes knock it out of bounds, so Hobbs is going to inbound that ball from just about underneath the hoop.
Great hustle there by a couple of the Lady Cardinals.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Caballero goes out to Frazier. Frazier's looking to drive around that baseline. She goes out to Rangel. Rangel's shot is up and no good. And the rebound goes off to the Cardinals, and off to the Coyotes. And Garrett has their player West Hart all tied up, but and Slover gets the ball, passes down there, drives around, makes 2 moves, and scores to just as the time expires here in the first.
Yeah, so we end the first quarter with Slover finishing at the buzzer there. That makes it 13-3 in favor of Tatum. And Eunice has actually played a fairly competitive quarter. I mean, we missed a couple of shots. We've definitely missed some free throws. And, we gave up that basket at the end, but it could have very easily been a neck-and-neck game if a couple of buckets would have went for us and if we'd have had that stop right there at the end. So Eunice, I saw some good things that quarter, and so I guess it's a good thing to talk about good things. The one thing that we've got to do a better job of is they're running that wheel offense, or it's like a 5-out, and so every time that ball goes to one side, everybody's just wheeling through, and there's somebody setting like a pick as they wheel off of that, and they're just wheeling, and they just keep going until somebody breaks loose and gets open. On that type of offense, you've got to get off of your man and quit running around with your nose stuck to them, to where you're anticipating that cut through, and then you can basically almost turn your man offense or man defense into almost a zone. And so we'll see what happens here, what adjustments we can make. 13-3, second quarter underway.
Cardinals are going to inbound it. Hobbs is looking to inbound the ball. She gets, actually it's knocked away, and that is by Jimenez. She knocks it out of bounds, so the Cardinals will inbound the ball again. This time further down in their own territory. So this time she gets it to Rangel. Rangel gets tied up at the line. She brings it across the timeline, goes over to Caballero. Brings it over to Garrett. Okay, Garrett gets called for a travel. I didn't see it, but.
Looked like she was kind of bouncing when she caught the ball, and I'm assuming that he's standing right down there within 15 feet of her. I'm assuming she shuffled her feet. So 3-13, 7:40 remaining here in the first half.
All right, we did not need to start this quarter off with a turnover, and they're facing the line. And they come back around, and actually Slover picks it up after Combs loses that ball and goes in for her little layup, and now it's 15-3. And with the exception, just about half a minute, maybe a minute of play, and Rangel gets tied up there for a second. She breaks the ball back out. She's over to Hobbs. Hobbs is looking to drive in. Hobbs has the ball knocked away, but Frazier picks it back up, and it's on the ground. And a jump ball there. And looks like the ball is going to go over to the Coyotes.
7:07 remaining in the half. 3-15 here in quarter number 2. Slover is bringing the ball across the midline for the Lady Couts.
All right. We got Sanchez over there looking to break inside. Now they go over to, that is Marcel. So they go inside, and the ball is stripped away, and so that is a turnover on the Coyotes. Great play inside there by Garrett and a couple others. Hobbs gets the ball down here. She looks to drive, and her shot is blocked twice by Combs, and Combs steals the ball away, and Hobbs is still kind of down there on the ground. And Combs returns the favor, and they over back, and then Hobbs, well, Caballero tried to lead Hobbs, and Hobbs wasn't able to catch up with it, and now the ball goes back over. Slover comes in, passes over to Combs, and the ball's going to be knocked away from Combs, but it's going to stay with the Coyotes down here.
And Tatum will make a substitution here with 6:16 remaining in the half. 3-15 Tatum. Tatum's ball under their basket.
All right, Frazier seems to be hurt of that. She's out of the game. And they just put, as soon as they bring it into the game, and that is Lopez, and they take advantage of Lopez and score on that easy one. And now we have, well, we almost had a turnover. That was a great play on Rangel, and again, we have Caballero goes down, and she's up against Combs, and the ball is knocked away. And I think they're going to call, is that going to be a takedown? I mean, we're talking about wrestling, but I think that's a takedown.
I think they canceled wrestling last week, or they tried, and then they reinstated it. That almost looked like a 2-point takedown in wrestling right there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that, all right, Caballero's got the ball. She's going to bring it out to the top of the key. She's over to Frazier. Frazier has the ball knocked away as they get tied up the line. Frazier goes over to Garrett. Garrett has the ball tied up by Combs. And so the ball's going to stay with the Cardinals there. It's a great play by Combs, but
5:42 now remaining in the half. Eunice's ball on the baseline. Frazier will be throwing it in.
All right, that's Garrett. Garrett throws it over to Lopez. Lopez back to Caballero. Caballero tries to drive in, and she is fouled by Combs.
You know,
Combs' second foul.
I really like that aggression right there by Caballero. I mean, you can always see good things happen when you attack the basket, and she attacked right there, and although she was outsized double, she got in there and got to the rim, was able to create some contact, and she missed that first free throw, but she'll have another one here, and I like the aggressive offensive move.
They're saying that's only the first foul on. Oh, they're saying that foul with the net there was Slover. That was definitely not Slover that fouled her, but that's the way they're calling it.
Well, she knocks down the second one. It's now 4-17. Eunice trailing Tatum.
All right, top of the key there. That's Slover. She's looking to drive in. She goes over to Combs. Combs makes power back to Slover, and Slover's ball is no good. Garrett gets the rebounds and off to Caballero. And Caballero probably needs to slow it up because she's looking at 4 red jerseys in front of her, and she does. All right. Rangel over to Caballero, over to Garrett. Garrett goes inside to Frazier. Frazier loses the ball, and the ball's on the floor, and Garrett steals it away. And we'll see, and they're going to say that it was knocked out of bounds by the Cardinals.
There was a lot of wrestling going on in that move. I can't help but think of that double leg that we had over there earlier, and that was definitely a fireman carry at that point. So it's now 4:51 remaining in the half, 17-4.
This is almost one of those games where it's going to let them play, and that does not play well for the Cardinals as their ball's deep inside there, and that ball goes off to Sanchez, Marcel, and she gets 2 points.
Now 19-4.
And we've got another turnover on the inbound there as Caballero tries to get it to Rangel, and Rangel gets double teamed and the ball turned over.
Hobbs is going to come into the game. Garrett's going to go take a water break. Tatum's going to have the ball on the sideline.
And this time, looks like the Coyotes return the favor as they're trying to inbound to Slover and just completely throw it over her head and out of bounds.
Yeah, Tatum comes out in that full court man-to-man defense here, and they're going to pressure the ball.
And Rangel runs into the two, and she dribbles it out of bounds, the turnover, and so it's going to go right back over to the Coyotes.
Yeah, so it's now 19-4, 4:29 remaining in the half. Tatum will have the ball at midcourt on the side.
All right, bring it into Slover. So far, Combs she's had a lot of opportunities down there. Has had quite a few turnovers, and that time, just as I say that, she gets the ball and converts.
That's that announcer's jinx there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she had really not had a game like we've seen her play before. Hobbs comes down, she spins around, goes up, her shot is no good, and the rebound goes off to the Coyotes, but number 4, Sanchez, dribbles the ball on the line, and so going to turn it right back over to the Cardinals.
So under 4 minutes to go, 4-21, Eunice ball on the baseline.
Goes out to Frazier. The top of the key is not someplace we're used to seeing Frazier. She pulls up for a three-pointer. It is no good, and the rebound is to Hobbs. Hobbs goes out, and she flips it off to Frazier. Frazier's shot is up again. She gets nothing but air, and Caballero steals that ball away from her on the way down. So Caballero was going to Hobbs. Hobbs wasn't looking, and the ball goes out of bounds. We have another turnover.
You know, that's the second time we've seen something similar to that. Earlier we saw Caballero with the steal when Hobbs had got knocked down on the one end. She knew she was down there and threw it long, and she did the same thing that time, and we just weren't ready for it on the other end.
Yeah, Hobbs just wasn't expecting it and wasn't looking, and the ball went right by her.
So 3:20 remaining here in the half, 4-21, Tatum in the lead.
All right, so we got both the Slovers out there right now, and the ball is stolen away. And, boy, this has definitely let them play ball, isn't it, Judge?
Yes, it is.
Rangel drives down. Her shot is no good, and the rebound is off to Combs. Well, and that was Parker who knocks it away from Combs, but Combs gets it right back. And Slover drives the lane, pulls up. Her shot is no good. Rebound goes off to Marcel, and she's going to be fouled in the act of shooting. Oh, I'm taking it back. That wasn't Marcel. That's number 00. So Vildesnor.
So they'll call that foul on, it says 14, which I guess is Caballero.
Yep. And she makes the front end of those, and so it makes it 22-4 in favor of the Coyotes. And so we've seen a bunch more substitutions here.
Yeah, Maribel Lopez, Jasmine Martinez, and Isabella Garrett come back into the game. Kiki Parker, Rangel, and Hobbs go take a seat.
Frazier. All right, 23-4, 2:49 left here in the half, and they are definitely full court pressing. And we got two Cardinals down there on the other end when we're getting pressed 3-2 down here. And yeah, is Lopez moved 3 feet there on that one.
Yeah, it's like I talked about in the pre-show. You know, it's hard to get accustomed to the type of pressure they put on you and the different schemes that they use.
Well, when you have two of the Cardinal players down at the other end of the court when they're trying to inbound it, and a nice steal there by Hobbs.
Yep.
And she's going to be fouled. And so it's just going to be out of bounds, and see who's that foul is going to be on. That's the 6th foul on Tatum.
Yeah, it was a nice play there by Faith Hobbs.
Yeah, so that puts them into the bonus.
That's one of those Faith Hobbs hustle plays there. Eunice will have the ball on the sideline. 2:43 remaining in the half, 4-23. Tatum in the lead.
All right, so if the Cardinals are fouled again, they will be going to the line as they're on the bonus. So Lopez gets the ball. She goes looking to, I'm not sure. She was trying to go to Garrett and then goes to Garrett, and then the ball goes over to Sanchez, but it's going to stay with the Cardinals as Hart knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, 2:26 remaining here in the half, 4-23.
All right, so Hobbs looking, she comes out to Sanchez. And over to Caballero, and West knocks it away from Caballero. The ball's going to stay with the Cardinals, and Hobbs will be inbounding it again. And Hobbs brings it into Garrett. Garrett's being guarded by Hart, and she brings it across. The nice thing by Caballero, Caballero's shot is up and new. Hobbs gets the rebound. Her shot is no good, and Hart gets the rebound there for the Coyotes. So Jimenez is bringing the ball down court for the Coyotes. Comes over to Hart. And they're just kind of tied up there, and she hands it back to Jimenez, and that ball is knocked down by Sanchez. And this time the long pass to Hobbs is good, and she puts it in. So we've had 3 tries at that, and we finally convert.
Yeah, and it looked like, I thought we had somebody that rolled an ankle right there, but maybe not. It's 1:38 remaining in the half, 6-23.
Ooh. And fortunately there, we got them battling for the ball, but it looks like we're going to foul underneath there, and that foul looks like it's going to be on Lopez.
So 1:32 remaining now in the half. Got some substitutions coming in for Tatum. Tatum will have the ball in the baseline under their own basket, leading 6-23.
And they're saying that foul was on Isabel Garrett, and Parker comes in and breaks up that inbound, but unfortunately the Coyotes are able to recover. They bring it inside to Hart. Hart comes over, tries to go over to Garrett, and Garrett's battling, but Hart gets the rebound, takes 4 steps, and then starts dribbling. And there we got Jimenez. Her three-pointer is no good, and the rebound is off to Frazier. I'm off to Hobbs. She goes, Caballero leads her. Caballero goes down court and drops that ball in. So at least twice down the court there, that fast break has worked out for us.
Nice run out there by Caballero and a good find by Hobbs.
All right,
1 minute remaining in the half.
Oh, and Parker, she was probably going to get an easy shot there, so Parker took the foul, and so she's going to be going to the line. That's Villasnor is going to go to the line shooting, and that foul is on Kiki Parker, her first one.
So Tatum will go to the line. Looks like they're going to be shooting 2. They knocked down the first one. That makes it 24-8. We've got a substitution coming in for Tatum. I've noticed that it looks like 4 of their starters are sitting over on the bench, taking it easy.
Yep.
54 seconds remaining in the half. The second one is up, and it is off the rim.
Garrett gets out to Caballero. Caballero's looking out there. She brings the ball. Caballero looks to drive down. She goes over to Martinez, and Martinez's shot is up and no good. And Hobbs gets the rebound, and she is fouled by Hart.
Yeah, so that'll send Faith Hobbs to the line. Looking at the stats for the year so far, she's done a really good job from the free throw line, and I hope I don't jinx her, but 8-24, 43 seconds remaining here in the half. The first shot is up and off the front of the rim. There goes that announcer jinx.
We need to quit prophesizing because it's not turning back. Both of us have been burned.
Arissa Frazier comes in. Jasmine Martinez will go have a seat. And Hobbs sets up for number 2, and she misses that one as well.
And and the rebound is off to Villasnor. She brings it down court. 38 seconds left here in the half. They bring it inside, and Garrett knocks it away, but unfortunately, that Villasnor, she gets underneath there, gets the rebound, and scores.
It's now 26-8 with 25 seconds remaining.
Hobbs goes over to Caballero. Caballero's looking to drive down. She goes off to Frazier. Frazier's shot is up and no good. The rebound goes off to the Coyotes as Hobbs on the ground again. She's been spending a lot of time on the ground down there. She goes inside to Marisol, nothing there. Comes back over to Jimenez. Jimenez coming into Hart. Hart's going to try and make that move against Garrett, and Hart loses track of the time and doesn't get the shot off.
Now at the half, Eunice trails 8-26 to Tatum. And, not a terrible half for the Lady Cardinals. Nope. Just a few bad breaks, a few balls that didn't go in, some missed free throws, and we're right back in this thing.
Yep. Well, let's hear from the people that make this broadcast possible.
Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware, and Oil Patch Motel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
Eunice has a friendly small-town atmosphere, great schools and churches, and a low cost of living. The entire community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. The Eunice Department of Motor Vehicles' new office hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities. The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
Eunice Public Schools is proud of their Eunice Cardinals, the Eunice community, and the staff of Eunice Schools. Eunice Public Schools has anchored itself as an integral part of the Eunice community and takes school safety very seriously. Eunice Schools have continually provided a quality education for the students of Eunice through good times and bad. The Eunice School District appreciates the Eunice community, and they're proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Eunice is on the move. Are you ready?
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics. Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Are you looking for a reliable and trustworthy auto shop? Check out Zia Auto Shop in Eunice. Zia Auto Shop specializes in lube and tires and accessories. They accept fleet company maintenance cards and do washing and detailing. Next time you need a dependable tire or lube service for your vehicle, Zia Auto Shop has you covered. All the services you need, call 394-0298 for all your lube, tire, and accessories. That's 394-0298. Zia Auto Shop, 1800 Main Street in Eunice, proud supporters of the Eunice Cardinals and Lady Cardinals.
All right, as we're back to the halftime here, and the first half, as the judge was saying, it's 26-8, but it could be a lot closer score. The Cardinals just have not been able to get some balls to drop out here in this first half.
Yeah, you know, we've had our chances. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We had our chances in that half. We missed a ton of little easy shots right around the basket. We've probably shot, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would guess we've probably shot somewhere in the neighborhood of 20% or less from the free throw line. I mean, you can't continue to miss free throw after free throw and expect to be in ball games like this. And so, you know, I would guess we probably missed at least 8 free throws that first half if I were to go back. I mean, you make those free throws and you're back in the ball game, just that alone. Then you give up that long drive right there at the end of the first quarter, where they had the ball basically with 3-4 seconds under the opposite basket, and we just part like the Red Sea and let the Slover girl get all the way to the front of the rim and lay it in nice and soft. And so, you know, some of those things mixed with a few of the little easy shots that we've missed, some of the turnovers out on fast breaks where we've got people open, we either throw it long or we're not looking.
We've thrown the ball away on the fast break with somebody down there.
Well, you take away those minor mistakes and we're in this ball game. But I will say this, those things are typically the difference between your successful, good teams and your ones that struggle, because, you know, you compound all those mistakes, you multiply them by each other, and the next thing you know, you're down 8-26 at halftime. And so, if you, like you said, you sit here and you watch the game, and you're like, well, we've been competitive the whole game. I mean, I don't feel like at any point I was in one of those situations where I'm like, we're not in this ball game. But then I look at the score, and I'm like, ooh, we're down, 18 at halftime.
Well, you made one other good observation is most of the second quarter, their starters were the majority of their starters
True.
were on the bench.
True. Yeah, I felt like Coach Slover was trying to work with some of his younger kids there in that second quarter, and I, as I looked over there, I kept noticing that we had the majority of their starters sitting on the bench, and so, but even then, sometimes that comes back to bite teams. You start trying to work in some of the younger ones, you change momentum, but we've got to capitalize on it, and at this point we haven't. And so, I'm guessing that there'll be some adjustments made at halftime. We'll be able to see some of those adjustments here shortly. I am never a fan of rough basketball. I like things called, and I know there's different theories and all that sort of stuff, and my point is not to badmouth anybody. Sometimes I mess around and joke and say things like I am, but it's like these two gentlemen that are out here. I've known those guys for years, and I think the world of both of them. I don't think that the officiating is one-sided or the other. That's never, that's not my point by any means. But it has been a rough game, and the problem as a Eunice fan, because that's what I am. I'm a Eunice fan who was handed a mic and said, "Here, you go up and do these games." But I'm a Eunice fan, and that's what I am first and foremost. My kids play for Eunice. They go to school in Eunice. I graduated high school in Eunice. My parents graduated high school in Eunice. So I'm a Eunice fan, so I am partial. I'm partial to Eunice in these type of situations. And when you allow that kind of physical play, for the Hobbs Eagles, that's great stuff. Everybody loves it. They love that full court pressure and the bump and pushing and touching, and they like that. Our team is tiny this year.
Right.
We've mentioned
We're a finesse
it over
team, not a muscle team.
And when you allow that a little bit more physical play, I mean, it just pretty much eliminates our opportunity to be successful because we just don't have much size and strength. We're little. And so I sometimes get frustrated at it. My point is not to badmouth anybody. It's just bad for Eunice basketball. And as a Eunice fan, it's bad for me. And so, in my household, I've got Ovi. Ovi's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan of all things. I don't have any idea how that happened. He ain't never been to Pittsburgh in his life, but he loves Pittsburgh. He's got Pittsburgh Steeler memorabilia all over his bedroom, and I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I've had to really hide it the last 15 years or so because they irritate the heck out of me. But in our household, if and when Pittsburgh does good and Eunice does bad, Ovi is smacking his gums and running his mouth to me about how Dallas is horrible and how great Pittsburgh is, and we have that good back and forth. And to some people who might be on the outside, they might think he's bad-mouthing me or whatever. To me, that's just sports.
Yep.
And when I'm bad-mouthing an official about, come on, give me a call, that's horrible. To me, that's just sports. It's the way I look at it. It's not that I don't like somebody or I'm bad-mouthing somebody. And it's the same thing out here when I'm questioning these gentlemen that are out here working. I don't want to do what they do.
Yeah.
I have no intention. I have done that, and I have done that at the varsity level, and I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I don't like people hollering at me, and when they did, I'd probably turn around and tell them to shut up. But at the same time, that's why I don't do that. I'm not even sure this job, sitting up here with this headset, is for me because I am a fan. But at the same time, I enjoy the game. I like the game. I'm competitive at the game, and so you and I, we go out and play tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with some rock chalk. I'm trying to whoop you, and I'm probably going to talk a little crap to you when I whoop you or if I whoop you. And if you whoop me, it was because the wind blew the wrong dang way or whatever, and that's just me. It's just how I am. And so, yeah, so we've got some other Pittsburgh fans out there in the world. But
the lady at the station just said, "Go Pittsburgh."
Yes,
and so
yes.
It's like kind of turn the needle in the judge there a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, I know that this year in some of our games, I get on the officials and I say things, whatever, up here. I say those as a fan, and I don't mean to hurt their feelings. I just, I'm passionate about the game, and I'm passionate about the Eunice Cardinals. So here we go. We're getting ready to start the second half. Eunice trails 8-26. We will Tatum will have the ball over on the sideline. They will throw it in and start play in the second half.
Well, I think one play and there's a jumper there from the key. It's no good, and that rebound is off to Hobbs, and she is tied up. And it's going to be the Coyotes that knock the ball out of ground. Hobbs does get another rebound. Oh, no, now they're saying, wait. White ball, that's what I said. Red was going over there and said, wait a second, he motioned that way, and that was towards the Hobbs Eunice sideline, sorry. Hobbs gets the rebound, is going to inbound it.
I think the clock is messed up, too. They should have started with 8 minutes on the clock, and we started with 10, so they fixed it now, and here we go.
All right. And Rangel gets the ball and gets tied up immediately, or she's going to get called for a travel, and so the ball's going to go right back over again. And I think one change that needs to be made, because we talked about her, needing to be on her game tonight, and she's not. And I think we need to see a little bit more of Miss Martinez out here tonight.
Yeah, in this particular situation where they gave us fits right there is that press, and and against that press, I'd like to see the ball in Kendra's hands.
Yep. A little back and forth there, and they've got most of the starters back in the game now, and then get a little turnover there, and the ball was stolen away from Slover, which is always amazing. Hobbs gets the ball to Rangel. Rangel's getting yarded, and so it looks like that's going to be a foul right there on the line. And who's going to be called for that? That foul is going to be against the Coyotes, and we're just waiting to see who the foul was on. Frazier. Well, they never did say who the foul was on, so we don't know. Oh, there we go, number 2. And the Cardinals just threw the ball away, trying to get it down to the thing. Another turnover that we can't afford.
7:13 remaining here in quarter number 3. Eunice trails 26-8. Tatum is crossing the timeline with the ball.
All right, West brings the ball down court. She goes over to Marcel. Marcel goes over to Jimenez. Jimenez's shot is up and no good, and the rebound is by Caballero. Caballero slows it down to let everybody catch up. She goes over to Rangel. Rangel's three-pointer is up and no good. The rebound is off to Garrett, and Garrett is fouled in the act of shooting, and so she's going to go to the line.
Yeah, Garrett will get an opportunity to add to our point total here by going to the free throw line. Number 5, the young Slover picks up that foul there. That's 2 on her.
Which is not bad at all. And Garrett misses that first one. And like I said, we're not.
Yeah, we talked about that at halftime. Our overall free throw percentage in this game has not been very good
and
so
she
far.
Makes the second one.
She helps that percentage out a little bit there by knocking down the second one. 26-9, 6:45 remaining in the third.
And they were 25% in the first half. They were
wow.
2 for 8. So you were exactly right on your calls there. All right, Slover goes in, and she throws the ball out to West. A nice move. West drives down, no good. And the rebound is to Hobbs and to Caballero, and there's a tie-up between Caballero and West. And whose ball is it going to be? It's going to be white ball. All right. And ball is clear out to Frazier. Frazier brings in. She's being guarded down the line by Slover. The ball's knocked away. Rangel gets it back. She gives it to Frazier. Frazier's got a clean line, or had a clean line until somebody stepped into her, and she's going to draw the foul. That's number 10, Marceau. That's going to be her third foul, I believe. So we've got 3 quick fouls on the Tatum here to start this quarter.
Yeah, Eunice in transition has been able to attack the basket a couple times here, and it's worked out really good for them, and will now send Frazier to the line. She misses the first one. She'll have an opportunity here for another. Tatum makes the substitution here.
At least we have one of their starters sitting on the bench for a while now with that third foul. And Frazier misses both of those. So we're 1 for 4 here in the second half in the free throws. West brings the ball down top of the key. She's looking over to Sanchez. They're trying to get something inside there. There goes to Slover. And Slover comes inside, and Slover goes over to Combs. And a little bit easy dribble there, and Combs goes it up and in. And the ball's inbounds. She goes down to Garrett. Garrett's ball, and that ball should be knocked away by Combs, and is. And so it's going to stay Cardinals' ball.
Yeah, so Eunice will have the ball. Hobbs will come down to the baseline to throw it in. 5:47 remaining, 28 to 9.
All right, Hobbs inbounds it to Frazier. Frazier's off to Caballero, off to Hobbs. Hobbs looking to drive the baseline. She goes up, and her shot is no good, but she's going to be fouled underneath there.
Yeah, that's
Boy, Hobbs is getting knocked down and around. We've seen her on the floor a lot.
Yeah, and that's the 5th foul already on the Lady Couch this quarter, this half. So that's 5 fouls on them. Next one, I believe, will be in a bonus.
Yep.
Hobbs will get to
not
shoot.
even 3 minutes gone.
She misses the first one off the front of the rim. She'll have another one coming up, but we still have the same thing that was plaguing us in that first half, and that is missed free throws. And I say that, and she knocks the second one down. I will take that jinx there. 28 to 10. Jasmine Martinez comes back into the game. Hobbs goes over for a much-needed break. She's rubbing her legs, looking like she's banged up a little bit, and she ought to be as many times as she's hit the floor.
She has spent almost as many minutes on the floor, I think, as she in the game, and there should have been a nice little traveling call on West there. The rebound comes over to Garrett. Garrett gets it and ties up to and who are we going to have a foul on there? If
That's
that
number
foul
2.
If that foul's on Combs, that'll be wonderful. That'll be Combs' third foul.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be on her for sure. Yeah, that's 3 on her. So.
And that is the 6th foul, and we've only got not even 3 minutes gone in this quarter.
Yeah, so that's 10 to 28, 5:22 remaining in the third. It's Eunice ball, and we are in the bonus.
Yeah, so their next foul, they'll go to the line and be shooting 1-and-1. Rangel brings the ball across court. She's tied up, and she's going to be called for travel.
Yeah, so that'll be a turnover on Rangel and the Lady Cardinals. 5:12 remaining here in the third. 10 to 28, Tatum's ball. They bring it across half court on the attack.
Hobbs seems to be really, that right hip seems to be really bothering her down there. You can see her stretching it out. All right, Slover's looking. She's being guarded by Frazier. She drives around. Frazier goes into West, and West's little up and in basket. So we start to close this gap. They come back. So Martinez goes over to Rangel. Rangel's being guarded again by West. It's 3-on-1 or out to Caballero. Comes over to Martinez. Frazier tries to drive inside. Her shot is up and no good. And the rebound, wow. You know, those are the calls that I don't really like when you see when one of the players throw the other player down, you know, like that. And I don't care if it's a jump ball or not. I just don't like that with no call there.
Yeah, 4:37 remaining here in the third. It's 10 to 30. It'll be Tatum's ball under the Eunice basket. They throw it in and start the walk toward the midline.
For some reason, they took one of the fouls off. That was 6 fouls, and now they go back to 5, and they got a turnover there. And so the Cardinals get the ball back there, and they'll be inbounding the ball. And the Coyotes are definitely, they got all 5 players down here on a full court press. Oh, no, they're saying red ball. Okay. And they inbound the ball to West. So West dribbles out to the top of the key. She picks it up to drive Slover inside. No, and West pulls it up back out to West. She pulls it up, and her shot, little jumper, is good. All right, inbound the ball to Frazier, back to Caballero, back to Hobbs. Hobbs drives down court, and the ball she's going to be fouled, and that foul is going to be on number 12, which I think is going to be her 3rd foul. And we should, I don't know what happened. That's her 1st foul. We were at 6, and then they went back, and I'm not sure what's going on here, but
Kiki Parker comes into the game. Isabella Garrett will go take a seat. 3:58 remaining in the third. Eunice trails 10 to 32.
Okay, we have some miscommunication there as we have 2 Cardinals fighting over the ball, and we knock it down. So we turn the ball over there as we're battling ourselves.
Yeah, 3:55 remaining in the third. Tatum brings the ball across the timeline.
West at the top, she goes over to Slover. They bring the ball inside to West, and the ball's knocked away. So back out to Slover. Slover drives the lane, comes up underneath, and boy, that was a beautiful move.
Yeah.
She pulls that ball down underneath, and then, well, Slover should have been called for a foul there too on that ram. And Rangel turns the ball over again on. Rangel's upset with a call, but.
So it's now 10-34, 3:24 remaining in the third. Rangel's going to go take a seat, and Jasmine Martinez is going to come in. Tatum's going to have the ball about 3/4 the length of the court on the sideline. Officials hand them the ball, and here they come across half court.
All right, West at the top of the key. She's go over to Villasnor, and Villasnor goes back in, goes back out back to West. West pulls up the three-pointer. It's no good, and the rebound is off to Martinez, and Frazier brings the ball down court. She goes over to Martinez. Martinez tries to drive, and Martinez is fouled. So Jasmine's going to go to the line. Well, yeah, it's a bonus, so she's going to go to the line regardless.
Yeah, she'll get to go shoot the 1-and-1 as long as they catch it. Yeah, there they go. They caught it. So she'll get to go shoot the 1-and-1. Once again, we start talking about free throws like we talked about at halftime. We need these.
There's Martinez's first ball, and it's no good. And the rebound goes over to the Coyotes. Bringing it back down to Jimenez. Jimenez comes inside and she's going to be fouled. That's on Velazar. And not sure who fouled her. I think that may be Kiki Parker. Or was it Frazier that fouled her?
Yeah. Yeah, that foul will be on number 2, Frazier.
That's her second.
2:56 remaining in the third. Tatum will go to the line.
That's the first foul of the quarter for it. And like us, they go to the line and make it.
They knock it down. So Parker's going to step back off the floor. Garrett comes back in. 2:56 remaining. Score is 10-35. Tatum at the line to shoot one more.
And they make both of them. All right, 36-10. Full court press and that to go over there to Caballero. Caballero brings the ball down. She goes over to Frazier. Frazier goes to Hobbs. Hobbs driving down, and Hobbs is fouled driving the line, so she'll be going to the line shooting too.
Yeah, that looked nice right there. The whole offensive sequence for us looked nice. Hobbs was able to take that ball and attack the rim, and that's a good deal for us. Now she goes to the line. Let's see if we can knock some free throws down here.
And Villasner, that is her third foul also. So they have 3 of their players.
Yeah, Villasenor picks up the third one. So now looks like they'll be sending in a sub here.
So Hart's coming in as they still have Combs sitting on the sideline with 3 fouls. And she misses that one, and the rebound is off to the Coyotes. And Slover's got the ball, bringing it down. She's looking inside that mismatch between Hart and Garrett there. Bring it out to West. West goes driving inside. Jimenez, and Caballero knocks it away from her, but turns right back on West. West's shot is partially blocked by Garrett. And is looking to drive in. Her shot is blocked partially by Caballero. And Hobbs is going to the rebound and is literally knocked to the ground.
Yeah, they're going to call the foul on Hart there.
And that'll be Hart's second foul.
So that'll send Eunice. Looks like they're sending them to the other end for the 1-and-1.
Yep.
So that's 2 fouls on Hart. One positive for sure out of this game is if we can keep it on the track that we're on, all of Tatum will be setting up in the bleachers watching the last part of this game, and we would have a chance to score some buckets.
And Hobbs makes that one. So in the 1-and-1, she makes it.
So it's now 11-36. Hobbs returns to the line, shoot one more. 2:16 remaining in the third.
And she misses the second one, and off to Slover. Slover's coming down, and she pulls it up to Jimenez. Jimenez's little runner jumper is good. And the inbound is Caballero, goes back over to Hobbs. Hobbs back over to Caballero. He's got that full court press down the line. Caballero's been guarded by 3 people on the line out to Frazier. Frazier's shot is up and no good. And the rebound goes off to the Coyotes. So 3-on-2 here, and Slover drives all the way down, and she's fouled, and I think that foul's going to be on Caballero.
So 1:43 remaining here in the third. Eunice trails 11-38. And Slover will go to the line for the Lady Couch to shoot 2 here. The first one is up, and it is good. Among other things, the biggest difference in my eyes here today have been these free throws. Tatum steps to the line, and they're knocking them down. The Lady Cardinals have struggled here today to finish.
Yep. All right, so Parker's back in, and Martinez is on the bench now. And they make both ends of them, and you're exactly right. When they're converting and you're not. And well, ball out of bounds there, and actually Slover made contact with Frazier and should have been called for a foul there, but wasn't.
1:42 remaining in the third, 11-40. Tatum with the steal.
And West brings it down. They got one of the. And a nice shot. It was blocked there by Hobbs. The rebound goes over to Slover. Slover gets the ball out, and her shot is no good. Hobbs is there underneath, and Hart's just standing there. And this time the ball is out to Hobbs, and she gets the rebound. Caballero's bringing it down court. And Caballero drives the baseline, but the shot is no good. And now it's out to Jimenez. Jimenez tries to go inside to West, but Hobbs knocks it away, and that's going to be their ball. It's a great play there by Hobbs.
It's a good hustle play for sure. Looked like she came up holding her wrist and hand. She's just spent a lot of time on the floor this game, which is not good for the Lady Cardinals because we sure don't need her hurt.
Well, not only do we need her hurt, but we need her shooting.
Under 1 minute to go here.
And here's Hart's looking. Hart goes around Garrett, and this time her little two-step goes in, and she scores. And Caballero gets the ball. She goes off to Garrett. Garrett's two-pointer's no good, overthrows it, and the ball goes off to, and, well, fortunately, Villasnor steps out of bounds, so the ball's going to stay with the Cardinals.
So Tatum with a 31-point lead here, late in the third, 30 seconds remaining in the third. Eunice has the ball under their own basket.
And gets it out to Caballero. And Caballero loses it, thinks she's got a backcourt violation, and unfortunately knocks it out of bounds, trying to save a backcourt that doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's no backcourt on an inbounds play.
All right, 30 seconds here. Out to West and the top key is going to Slover. And there's the cutter inside. There's nothing there, so Slover goes around. She goes over to Jimenez. Jimenez, and that ball is intercepted by Martinez. Got a 2-on-1 here. Martinez sees it. She goes to Caballero. Caballero's shot is no good. And Caballero fights for the ball back. And Hobbs gets it here, and so Hobbs' shot is up and good. And the clock should stop, but it's not, and that is the end of the third as it's 42-13 in favor of Coyotes.
Yeah, so Tatum leads here 42-13. Once again, you see some good things out there. We just, some of the negatives, we haven't been able to make free throws. We've just struggled to take care of that basketball on both ends. And on the defensive end, it almost looks like Tatum's just kind of playing with us down there. They're running their little offense and doing what they want to do. It's like one time they're working the wheel, the next time, that last quarter they were doing a double post up out of that same wheel offense that they're running. They run a low post and a mid post, and they're looking to get it into those posts and finish. And so it just seems to me like Tatum is working on things and.
Yeah, they're using this as
like a scrimmage or a practice.
Exactly the word I was going for was scrimmage. The Tatum's using this game as a scrimmage.
So as
they're not concerned about the Cardinals.
The win and the loss part of it. Yeah, and they're within what? They're up 31 right now. Is that 29?
Yep,
29. And so anyway, if they can add 6 more points to this, it'll be a permanent running clock. So.
All right, we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter here.
So, beginning of the fourth quarter, Eunice trails 13-42. Eunice is going to have the ball on the sideline. They throw it in to Frazier. And they almost
Hobbs
had a
gets the
turnover.
ball. Yep. So Hobbs hits three-pointer, and she buries the three-pointer. So that's what they need to get. Was it 6 points? Now it's 9 points.
Yeah. Yeah, so 16-42, 7:42 remaining here in the game.
All right, bring it in over to Jimenez, and Jimenez two-pointer is good. And the only thing good here is that there's 9 fouls on and Caballero throws that into West. West drives down. She goes around to Jimenez. Jimenez's shot is up and good. I'm sorry, that was Mariscal's shot was up and good. So we have a turnover there and another 2 points. Caballero goes to Frazier. Frazier looks to go across to Garrett, but the ball is thrown away, intercepted that time by Jimenez. And now the Coyotes are bringing the ball back down court again. All right, West out to Jimenez and her three-pointer, and she buries it. And now it's 49-16, and looks like we're going to have a timeout by the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think Coach Gaetan wants to talk about it. He's not lacking the defensive effort on the defensive end. We've had a couple of nice shots over here on the offensive end, some effort on that end. On the defensive end, we kind of look like our feet are in quicksand. We're just not moving, and they're whipping the ball around much faster than we're moving and then getting open shots. And here in the fourth so far, they've been able to knock those down. Eunice trails 16-49, 6:50 remaining here in the game against, depending on which poll you look at, is a number 4, number 5 ranked Lady Coyotes of Tatum.
Well, I think part of the problem, quite honestly, is the Cardinals are running out of gas because they've had most of the same 5 players on the court for this game, whereas Tatum has substituted freely. We've had a couple of substitutions. Has Caballero been out of the game yet?
If she has, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
so she's been in there most of the time. So here goes Eunice. They're going to throw it in under the Tatum basket. Tatum still in full court pressure.
It's Frazier. Frazier goes across the hot, and it's intercepted there, and Caballero tries it and knocked it away. No call there, and Caballero gets the ball. She's going to try and go up against Slover there, and Slover is going to take – is Slover going to –
Yeah, they're going to call her for a block. And,
yep.
You know, it's interesting. I was just looking at the rules on that block. If the feet, when you get set, if the feet, even if they're set there for 10 minutes – if they're wider than your shoulders and the contact is with the leg and not the body, it's a block. And so that was actually the right call there.
Yep.
So it was a good call by the officials. Sends the Cardinals to the line. Caballero knocks down the first one. That makes it 17-49, 6:36 remaining in the game. She'll go back to the line for one more.
And she makes both of those. So Caballero's shooting 75% from the line. Unfortunately, the rest of the team is not following suit. So 49-18, a 31-point lead here, 6:36 left. All right, West bringing the ball down across the timeline. And bringing it up, she goes over to Jimenez. Jimenez goes inside to Slover. Slover's ball is, they're going to say that ball is out of bounds, and so it's going to be Cardinals' ball. I'm not quite sure how that goes there, but now they're going to say that it is.
Yeah, the official out here corrected it.
Yeah,
I think they got it right there.
Yep. West drives in and over Hobbs and gets that point there.
So it's 18-51, just over 6 minutes remaining.
Caballero goes down to Frazier. Frazier tries to go inside to Garrett. Now to Hobbs. Hobbs comes up and her shot is no good, and the rebound goes off to West. 6 minutes left here. It goes down court, and nobody's paying attention. Slover goes underneath. Her shot is no good. She goes out to Jimenez. Jimenez buries the two-pointer, 53-18, and that's a 35-point lead. And we've got another turnover there as they try to pass down to Frazier. And the ball's taken away, and then they inbound it.
And it is the running clock. It is running during that dead ball. Tatum has the ball up 53-18. 5 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the game.
So with the exception of timeout and foul shots, the clock will run as long as there's a 35-point lead. And they've got all their starters back in the game here, too. For the there's a three-pointer that is no good. The rebound is off to Hobbs. Hobbs sees Caballero this time that they think Caballero can't get to it. Rangel's back in the game. So Hobbs is hurt, and Caballero's shot is up and no good. And rebound is there's going to be a foul on Frazier.
Yeah, and Hobbs is going to go over to the bench, and Kiki Parker's going to come in. She laid on the floor for a good 6 or 8 seconds. Well, now she decided to come back out on the floor, and Frazier went over and sat down. So 4:30 remaining in the game, 18-53, Tatum's ball.
And so they got Parker on Slover. They go inside, and that time Garrett. Okay, wait a second. Slover just shoved Parker, and there's no call, and then they get the ball. Yeah, and that was just a flat shove.
Yeah. 4:14 on a running clock here. Now we're down to 4:10. It's going to be Tatum's ball on the side.
The ball comes inside there to 10, and her shot is up and no good. The rebound goes off to, who's that? Castillo's back in the game. Caballero's shot is no good. Parker gets the rebound and scores.
Kiki Parker with a bucket there. That's one of her first, if not first, varsity bucket of the year.
Yep. And the ball comes into Slover, and she makes the basket back to a 35-point lead. Rangel and Caballero bringing the ball down court. They bring the ball over to Castillo, and the ball's knocked away. And now they got a 2-on-1 against Caballero, and the pull-up jumper there is no good. The rebound is off to Marcel. Her shot is up and no good. Rebound to Slover, who buries a three-pointer.
So it's now 20-58. They've extended their lead to 38 points. 3 minutes remaining in the game on a running clock.
And we got another turnover there. Well, no, it's going to, because it's going to be knocked by West, so that's going to stay with the Cardinals. And so it looks like, with the exception of Sanchez coming back in the game, there looks like they're taking all of this. Well, no, West is still in the game. So they got two of the starters out there.
Well, they've only got 9 kids, so there's no way they can take them all out unless they play 4-on-5.
Okay. At this point, I'll take anything. So Parker goes inside. She tries to. Her shot is no good. Nice move by Parker there, though. And the fast goes.
Ooh, dang it.
Boy, have you ever seen a mat more appropriately placed than that?
Man.
Because that would have been the brick wall that she hit her head into. And she's hurt.
Yeah, she hit the mat right about a foot off the ground, head first, and it bent her head and neck back toward the back, toward her back. That was a really ugly collision there with the wall. And I mean, that mat was definitely a great thing that it was there, but she hit it still hard.
Yeah, she hit it hard.
The worry for me is more of the position that her neck was in as she went down.
Yep. All right, well, why don't we, we have an injury here. Let's take and hear from the sponsors that make these broadcasts possible.
Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware and Oil Patch Motel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
Eunice has a friendly small-town atmosphere, great schools and churches, and a low cost of living. The entire community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. The Eunice Department of Motor Vehicles' new office hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. No testing on Friday. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities. The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
Eunice Public Schools is proud of their Eunice Cardinals, the Eunice community, and the staff of Eunice Schools. Eunice Public Schools has anchored itself as an integral part of the Eunice community and takes school safety very seriously. Eunice Schools have continually provided a quality education for the students of Eunice through good times and bad. The Eunice School District appreciates the Eunice community, and they're proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Eunice is on the move. Are you ready?
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics. Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 2350 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Are you looking for a reliable and trustworthy auto shop? Check out Zia Auto Shop in Eunice. Zia Auto Shop specializes in lube and tires and accessories. They accept fleet company maintenance cards and do washing and detailing. Next time you need a dependable tire or lube service for your vehicle, Zia Auto Shop has you covered. All the services you need, call 394-0298 for all your lube, tire, and accessories. That's 394-0298. Zia Auto Shop, 1800 Main Street in Eunice, proud supporters of the Eunice Cardinals and Lady Cardinals.
All right, well, thankfully, the young player, that was Ava Slover, an 8th grader that slammed that wall, but she was able to get up and walk off the court after a several-minute delay there. We're just happy to see that she's up and walking and everything looks okay.
Yeah, she hit the wall hard. That was definitely a rough collision there with that wall. She was going for a ball that had been thrown over her head a little ways, and so she was at a dead sprint looking back over her shoulder, and she hit the wall. So 20-58 here. Eunice trails. 2 minutes, right at 2 minutes to go. They've got the ball crossing midcourt.
So Caballero to Rangel. Rangel goes over to Garrett. Garrett's being guarded by Hart. And she goes, looks like she was throwing it to Caballero, but it was actually to Hobbs. And Hobbs throws it to West, the opposite team. So we have a turnover there, and it comes down court. And they're going to thought they were going to throw that ball away, but West gets it back, and so they're going to keep it. And back to West. She pulls up for a little jumper. Her shot is no good, and Hobbs has the rebound. Minute 38 left in the game, 58-20. Caballero brings the ball down court. And they just kind of stop at the key there. She's kind of dribbling the ball around. She's looking, she wants to get the baseline. There's nothing there. She comes back out to Rangel. Rangel looks to drive at the middle. She doesn't. Goes out to Hobbs. Hobbs tries to go inside to Garrett, and the ball's knocked away, but Caballero gets it. And Caballero is going to go to the line, and she's fouled. And I think that's going to be on Hart, which would be Hart's third foul. 10 fouls, so double bonus for the Cardinals.
Yeah, so that'll send Kendra Caballero to the free throw line. Her first one is up, and it touches every part of the rim. I think some of the ball might have even touched the net and then rattles out. Eunice is going to make a substitution. Garrett goes out. Frazier comes in. Caballero will have one more free throw, 1:12 remaining here in the game. She knocks down the second one. That makes it 21-58.
All right. And bring the ball down court. Ball's Marcel. She's going to get it. She goes over to Villasnor, back to West. West to the top of the key, goes inside to Hart. Hart's trying to put over Frazier and drops it in. And, boy, that's a mismatch for Hart and Frazier.
Yeah, when she starts making that little post move right there like that, that's a tough one to defend.
Well, especially when you're 6-7 inches taller.
Yeah.
Parker puts up a three-pointer. It's no good, and the rebound is off to the Coyotes. Down to Wes. Wes pulls it up there. 34 seconds. Marcel's at the top. It looks like they're just going to dribble out the clock. Well, maybe not. So Wes Hobbs steals that ball away and driving down for the layup here. And Hobbs is going to be fouled as Marcel just kind of runs her out of bounds, runs her over so that.
Yeah, so 19 seconds remain here in the game. It's 21-60. Clock does stop on the free throw, so that's stopping the clock. Faith Hobbs steps up and knocks down free throw number 1. That makes it 22-60, so we're at least back within 38 at this point. Under 20 seconds to go. She makes them both.
Both of them.
23-60.
So she's now 5 of 9 from the free throw line. 18 seconds, West out there. Going to Marcel. Marcel goes over, and her ball is, Caballero is knocked away. Caballero goes down. And now we've got Hart against Frazier again. And this time she overshoots it. And that is the game as Rangel tries to throw up a prayer, but nothing there. And the Cardinals go down to defeat 60-23.
Yeah, so just, an all-around tough game there for the Lady Cardinals. This Tatum team is a very tough team. They do a really good job, and they've definitely got a good program in place. So Eunice falls 23-60. I was trying to look here. I think we'll play again. Is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, we're just Saturday now.
Saturday.
So Saturday
versus
with Dexter here. Yep.
Okay. They were able to move one of the games. I think the Hagerman game they moved to later. And so we'll have Dexter Saturday here. And there are no boys games this week. Those were all reset due to the same exposure that Chloe was involved with. So anyway, we will reschedule all those boys games. I believe next week they have like 5 or 6 nights where they've got games scheduled all piled into next week. So it's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks of basketball. We'll have the Dexter game here, and we'll still be shorthanded in that game. So we'll see how things go there.
Well, 3:30 ball game on Saturday, I think.
I haven't even looked. I hadn't slowed down long enough to even think about Saturday yet, but that sounds about right.
Frazier's probably going in there looking for an ice bath because that girl is going to have more bruises on her body as much time as she spent on the floor tonight.
You're talking about Hobbs?
Or Hobbs, I'm sorry, yes, Hobbs.
Yes.
Sorry, yes, thank you.
Yeah, she definitely had a rough game as far as collisions and whatnot. So just hope the young lady from Tatum is okay. It looks like they're still in there checking her out, and just hope she's okay. I love the game. I'm as competitive as anybody. I always want to win. At the same time, I never want to see anybody hurt, no matter where they're from or what team. So I hope she's doing well. We wish them the best. So Tatum at this point, it remains undefeated in district. It looks to me, just looking at what I see of them, they seem to be head and shoulders above most of the teams in our district this year. And I think that their number 4 or 5 seed that they've got right now is well-deserved, and I'm not sure that it shouldn't be a top 3 seed. And so they got a good program this year, and so they've done a good job. Congratulations to them. Eunice will play again Saturday versus Dexter right here in Joe Langston Gymnasium.
All right, well, y'all, thank you for tuning in tonight. This is Steve Mueller with the Judge Jimmy Jones, and thank you, and we'll be back with you on Saturday. Everybody be safe. Goodbye.